Good evening and welcome to Brandon Stadium for more Elite League action as the Coventry Bees take on the reigning champions, the Poole Pirates. The Bees' first home fixture for 3 weeks and one of the key meetings of the season. The Bees looking to bounce back after a humbling 30-point defeat down at Wimborne Road on Wednesday evening. Polkasper Arena out of action after a horror crash at Kings Lynn a fortnight ago. The Bees have no choice than to operate rider replacement, and so the contribution of both reserves will be absolutely vital if the Bees are to be victorious here this evening. For the visitors, they're already flying high at the top of the early Elite League table. Hans Andersen already making a mockery of his low average, but the Pirates do arrive here with a couple of key absentees. Young Australian Brady Kurtz has called off ill, and with Chris Holder unavailable, super sweet Freddie Lindgren steps into the number 1 berth for the Pirates here this evening. So it'll be a tough meeting for the Bees, and with the riders on parade, let's quickly run down the 2 team lineups. Going for the Bees at number 1 is Christoph Kasperzak, Jason Garrity rides at number 2 is Danny King at 3 with rider replacement at number 4. Skipper Chris Harris rides at 5, 2 reserves for the Bees, James Sargent at 6 and Josh Bates at number 7. For the Pirates, they're led at number 1 by guest Freddie Lindgren, rider replacement at number 2 it's Davey Watt at 3 with Christoph Piskowski at number 4. Hans Andersen rides at 5, their 2 reserves, Adam Ellis at 6 and Kyle Newman at number 7. So looking forward to a great meeting here at Brandon. It's the Coventry Bees taking on the Poole Pirates in Elite League action. Without any further delay, let's get on with the racing and join your commentator, Dave Rowe.
Thank you, Pete. Here we go then with heat number 1 of this Elite League fixture. The two sides meeting for the second time in 48 hours. An emphatic victory for the Poole Pirates on Wednesday at Wimborne Road, even though the Bees in fact were 4 points in front after 10 races. Couple of changes to the Poole side tonight with Brady Kurtz out due to illness, so they're using rider replacement. Not that that will weaken them in any great sense with the way the others have been going. And Chris Holder missing for the second time this season at Coventry, and this time he has a clashing TV fixture in Poland, which is further proof that the international fixture calendar is not really worth bothering about. Freddie Lindgren, who is piling up points everywhere he goes early in the season, guesting for the Pirates, of course guested for the Bees in the playoffs last season, not with any great success, did score a paid max here for Wolves in the last meeting, and that was 3 weeks ago. Since then the Bees have been to Kings Lynn, picked up a point and also lost Kasper Arena to a long-term hand injury, and of course battered at Poole on Wednesday night. So they have just 4 points on the board from their opening 5 Elite League fixtures, and a very tough one here indeed tonight. Garrity in blue off the inside, Ellis is the rider replacement, yellow and black off gate 2, Kasper at gate 3, Lindgren off the outside, green light for the opening race with Mick Postle at the referee. Ellis makes an absolute flyer off gate number 2, he's got the advantage. Round the outside goes Freddie Lindgren, Kasper back in third, Garrity at the back. That was a flying start by Adam Ellis, and he's got the advantage, and this Poole fast track tier 2 draft rider is going to be Poole's number 1 come the start of when he gets his new average, and he's jumping out and winning heat 1 round Brandon. It immediately shows just how fantastic Poole have been, how strong they are this season. Got an absolute rip-roaring start off gate 2 and leads from Freddie Lindgren with Garrity in third and Kasperzak in missed the start. He's been winning race 1 round here this season so far, but definitely not tonight. And Poole is set to open up with a maximum in the very first race. It could be a long old night with the Pirates so strong and the Bees in a desperate state in the early part of the campaign. And it's a very, very convincing, commanding 5-1 for the Poole Pirates in the opening race, with Adam Ellis oversliding the off-bend form, but he's still way out in front. Ellis wins it from Lindgren with Garrity in third and Kasperzak at the back. Well, the Bees chose gates 1 and 3. That may not have been the right move, but whatever it was, Ellis and Lindgren whizzed off the start. Certainly Ellis got an absolute flyer off gate number 2, and he and Lindgren got a convincing 5-1 over Garrity and Kasperzak. Coventry 1, Poole 5. Well, given that Ellis has just zoomed away and won Heat 1 in the quickest time of the season around Brandon, it's fairly tough test here, you would think, for the Coventry reserves here, James Sargent and Josh Bates, especially when you factor in Kyle Newman as well. Ellis, we always knew, was a talent, and a talent that was rather being stifled by riding at Lakeside. But whenever he came to Coventry with Lakeside or guesting for others, he was struggling to get points in the Elite League. He obviously rode well here in the National League, but in the Elite League he was not scoring points. And there you go, with the confidence from winning races on a regular basis. And of course, now Eastbourne's number 1-2 in the National League, so he's going to be a top average rider in the Elite League team and a National League team at the same time. And it's the confidence gained from winning races that means he's just carrying on doing it, and to come to an away track and win Heat 1 in that style was remarkable, and just underlines that there is no weak link at all in this Poole team. Ellis off the inside, Sargent gate 2, Newman gate 3, Bates off the outside. Heat number 2 then, with the green light on, and away they go. And again, Ellis is very fast, and Newman is squeezed down between Sargent, and late Sargent gives Newman a shove. Newman goes in between them. Bates went too wide on turn 2, and Poole got 1 and 2 again. And that time Newman had to work for it between Sargent and Bates, but he still get through, and Ellis was charging clear once again. Ellis miles in front, Newman in second place, Bates in third, Sargent at the back, and there'll be 2 races down and 2 5-1s and 2 clear 5-1s as well for the Poole Pirates. It's not even close here at this stage. Ellis way out in front, he's so far in front, it's unbelievable. Newman in second place, Bates in third, trying to go around the outside, Sargent at the back, and it's the worst possible start for Coventry, who were turned over here against Wolverhampton a couple of 3 weeks ago, who were beaten 60-29 at Wimbledon Road on a Wednesday night, and are going to be 10-2 down after 2 heats here, with Adam Ellis running riot, with Carol Newman in second place, with Bates in third, Sargent at the back, and 2 races gone, 2 5-1s to the Poole Pirates as Ellis wins it by street on 1 wheel. Second place Carol Newman, third Josh Bates, fourth James Sargent. Coventry 2, Poole 10 after 2 heats, and that's 2 absolutely emphatic victories for Adam Ellis, who started the season ranked 15th in the draft list, which I think is being ripped up as well as the heat leader list has been ripped up too in a couple of weeks' time. But Ellis, having clocked 59.7 in Heat 1, has now repeated that in Heat number 2. So he's got the 2 fastest times round Brandon this season, and well, it's just complete stunned silence already amongst the Coventry public here, who have seen their side concede back-to-back 5-1s in the opening 2 heats, and it wasn't even close. Ellis, Newman, Bates, Coventry 2, Poole 10. Heat 3, it's Danny King in red, Chris Harris in blue, Davey Watt in white, Hans Anderson goes in yellow and black, and well, Danny King had a dreadful night at Poole on Wednesday. He then returned and scored 13, paid 14 for Ipswich at Sheffield last night. So can he get back on some kind of winning form in the Elite League? Chris Harris has been fairly consistent for the Bees in a tough first month of the campaign. He's in blue off the inside. Anderson is now a heat leader for the Pirates. Average pushed up to 688, a rolling average, but his actual scoring has been far higher than that. Davey Watt's been about the one Poole rider who has not been consistently performing so far this season. Even he scored 8, paid 9 last night, on Wednesday I should say, after running in last place in his first outing. And when you've got only one rider struggling, you can certainly carry him along, but in Coventry's case there are all sorts of problems, and it may well be that they're going to mount big time tonight. Harris goes off the inside, Anderson off of gate 2, King gate 3, and Watt off the outside. Here we go with heat number 3. Green light comes on, and away they go, and it's Anderson flying out of gate 2. King made a pretty good one, Watt missed the start. Anderson takes King wide, Harris comes to the inside, King went much too wide, and Watt goes through into third place. King back round him into the third bend, but Anderson with the advantage over Harris, with King in third and Watt at the back. And Coventry at least they got a shared heat going, but Anderson still off gate 2, and now can Chris Harris pass him? Harris did pass him a couple of times in the Elite Shield earlier in the campaign. Harris is quicker than Anderson here as they goes into the third bend for the first time. Anderson swings out wide off bend 4, still leads from Harris. King in third, Watt at the back. Best race so far, at least we've got a contest on here as Anderson continues to lead. Harris tries to seam down the inside, it's close into bend 3, but still Anderson's got the advantage. Harris going wide into 3 and 4, now trying to switch it back for the inside as they start the last lap, with Anderson still leading. Harris, King in third over on quad, and still has Anderson from Chris Harris. Harris trying to bundle down the inside, he just got trapped off once again there coming off the second turn, and Anderson Looks like he'll hold sway as he comes off bend 4 with the lead and the win. It's Hans Anderson over Chris Harris with Danny King in third place and Davey Watt out the back. It's the first shared heat of the evening. That's some relief for Coventry after what they've seen so far, but it's only going to get worse when you look at what's to come. Harris is frustrated that he couldn't get the better there of Anderson, who flew off gate 2 and took the victory for the Pirates. Anderson from Harris, King in third, 3 apiece. Coventry 5, Poole 13. Newman here goes off the inside in yellow back for the Pirates. Josh Bates in blue off gate 2 for the Bees. It's Krzysztof Buszkowski in white. That's the non-heat leader, Krzysztof Buszkowski, on his 6.48 average. And James Sargent in red. Heat 4 with the green light on from Mick Postlewhite. Away they go. Flying start by Newman, who takes Bates into the first bend. Round the outside goes Sargent. Newman lifts Bates. And the referee's not going to stop that one. Poole have 1 and 2 with Buszkowski with the advantage, with Newman in second, with Sargent in third, and Bates is here in the track. It's Poole 1 and 2 once again. Ahead of Carl Newman. It was tough on the first bend. It was tough. It was Elite League is tough. Bates, I think, is giving his shoulder a whack, and I think he's okay. But he went down. Sargent was trying the outside run, but Buszkowski was there in control. And Carl Newman, who didn't make the best of starts from the inside, still managed to get himself through on the first bend, as he did in heat 2 against the Coventry reserves. And as a result, Poole are going to get their third 5-1 of the meeting. It is Krzysztof Buszkowski out in front of Carl Newman. James Sargent in third place, and Josh Bates is getting back under power on the centre after coming down on the first bend. And there's already only 4 heats gone, very nearly, and there's already no way back at all for Coventry here tonight. Buszkowski over Newman, Sargent in third place, Bates at the back, or Bates falling on the first bend, and with 4 heats gone, Poole are 12 points in front thanks to 3 5-1s. Easy as you like. Krzysztof Buszkowski, Carl Newman, James Sargent. It's Coventry 6, Poole 18. Well, you're just looking down the race card here, and you're just seeing every race. You're looking at Poole extending their advantage. They have no Brady Kurtz tonight, but they have Krzysztof Buszkowski taking the rider replacement ride. He goes in white off the inside gate. They've got Adam Ellis, who's secured 2 emphatic victories. He's in yellow and black here in this one. They've got Lindgren and Anderson to come in heat 6 in a race where Coventry are using rider replacement. So there needs to be a bit of a fight from Coventry, a bit of spirit. That was a marked factor of their team in 2014 and 15, this fighting spirit and the ability to dig themselves out of situations. Well, this is a heck of a situation to dig yourself out of, but the fans at least want to see some kind of fight. Heat number 5, Krzysztof Buszkowski in white off the inside, Garrity in red off gate 2, Ellis in yellow and black off gate 3, Sargent in blue off the outside. Poole got their winter team building absolutely spot on in every single department. It's very hard to see them not winning the Elite League this season, but you do expect other teams to show more, bearing in mind that Poole did lose at Lakeside a couple of weeks ago. And that's a great start from the outside by James Sargent, who can do it off the outside. He's got the advantage, and Buszkowski goes flying down off the back of the bike on the back straight, and he is going to not clear the track because Sargent's out in front. Sargent leads, Ellis second. Third is Garrity, who did well to avoid it. That was a frightening crash there for Krzysztof Buszkowski off the bike on the back straight. And thankfully, it looks like he's okay as he walks back towards his bike, and we're awaiting a light from the referee. It would have to be the rider in white disqualified. It was for once a Coventry rider had got in front. It was James Sargent who'd done a fine job on the first bend there to lead. He got the better of Adam Ellis, and then Buszkowski coming to the crease spectacularly. It's walking back in. That's good to see after a really spectacular get off. And although there's no, and now there is a disqualification light on for Buszkowski, that took some time to come, but the Poole rider is disqualified. It'll be 3 riders only. Mad padding down on the outer circuit as Jason Garrity makes his way onto the track, mounted on Josh Bates' bike. We've seen that before this season. Garrett simply wouldn't fire. To be fair to the in the Coventry pits, they were very much onto that straight away and quickly got turned around. That's credit to Chris Harris down there that realised what was going on. So, and Josh Bates was ready with the bike. So fair play there. The Bees were on a 4-2 when the race got stopped when Bushkowski came to grief. So the law of Speedway will be that Adam Ellis will make the start now from gate 3 in the rerun, especially with Garrity mounted on Bates' bike, and of course Sargent can make it off the outside. We have seen that on several occasions in the past. Here we go with the rerun of heat number 5. Garrity on gate 2, Ellis gate 3, Sargent off the outside, away they go, and this time naturally Ellis does make the start. Sargent will try and go around the outside, Garrity goes flying across the corner, Sargent still goes around the outside to go round Adam Ellis. Good ride by James Sargent to lead over Ellis with Garrity in third spot. Ellis will now try and go back on Sargent as they start the second lap, and they've got a decent race here in heat 5 with Garrity flinging Bates' machine round for all his worth, trying to get round Adam Ellis. So the Poole reserve for the first time under some pressure here as Garrity goes sailing round turn 3 and 4 on a borrowed bike and comes out in front almost because Sargent didn't know he's there. It's Sargent and Garrity now ahead of Ellis, and Garrity's gone round everyone, and it's remarkable that on someone else's bike he's just got straight on it and gone round everyone. It's Garrity from Sargent, it's Ellis who made those series of fast starts but has now been completely undone in this one. And mentioned the Nevers and fighting spirit, well, we've just seen some there from Jason Garrity and James Sargent over Adam Ellis for a 5-1, and boy oh boy was that required in heat number 5 for the Mill-based Bees. Garrity and Sargent put some kind of a smile on people's faces after one of the worst first 4 heats you'll ever see around Coventry. Super effort by Garrity on Bates' bike, super effort by Sargent too. Ellis made the start and they've both gone past him, and Coventry finally gets something for the meeting so far with a 5-1. Jason Garrity and James Sargent over Adam Ellis, and it's Coventry 11, Poole 19, and fair play to the fans here who have seen, as I say, 4 heats of utter dross here so far. They have responded to that and given Sargent a good welcome home back to the pits after heat number 5. It's Coventry 11, Poole 19. Rider replacement Josh Bates in heat 6 for Coventry. They'll get one ride for Jason Garrity as RR, heat 8 or heat 14. Danny King off the inside, Freddie Lindgren off gate 2, Hans Anderson off the outside. Always felt that the loss of Chris Holder tonight was not going to be any great concern. He's been actually quite inconsistent around Coventry ever since the big crash here 3 years ago, and bringing in a rider in Lindgren who is very definitely taking the benefit from the fact that he started the season on such a low average. Guested last night for Leicester at King's Lynn and scored double figures, and every indication he may well do the same again tonight after scoring a paid max here as a second string in early April. And Wolverhampton we started the season well with 3 wins out of 3 so far. The Bees have 10 days off after this meeting. Their next one is on Bank Holiday Monday in early May when they take on Swindon, and by then they're going to need to have a new face in the lineup. King off the inside, Lindgren gate 2, Bates gate 3, Anderson off the outside. Green light then for heat 6 and away they go. Red lights come straight on from the referee as Danny King gets to the first bend in front, and Anderson trying to go back inside him, and the riders have now seen that red light, and it will be, I imagine, a restart with all 4. So back round for the restart of heat 6 with King going off the inside, Lindgren gate 2, Bates gate 3, Anderson off the outside. 19 points to 11 in Poole's favour, so clearly if the Pirates do get an advantage here, either a 4-2 or a 5-1, then you'd have to suggest that Coventry will be giving Chris Harris black and white in heat 7. Suspect it's delaying the inevitable as far as the overall result is concerned tonight, but certainly after the first 4 heats that we saw, it's going to be a case of trying to save some face. At least they went some way towards doing that with that 5-1 in Heat 5. It's very interesting that Garrity managed to find more speed out of Bates's bike in Heat 5 than he managed out of his own in Heat 1. So that has been a concern at times this season so far. Has been Garrity's ultimate pace. I don't think there's any great doubt about the riding ability. We've seen that for the last 2 years. So Anderson starting right on the outside fence there. Go off. Well, Bates prodding away at the tapes and has gone through them. Well, that's not an offence. The 2-minute warning is still on, but it's not actually a starting offence. He doesn't want to leave the track. There's no point in doing that. I think there is some issue with the. I think possibly the clutch has gone there. I don't know. He's got off the bike, well, and now the red lights are on. So whether he's now exceeded the 2-minute time limits, I don't know. But he cannot leave the track, or if he does, he will be disqualified. But he's now pushing the bike back in, so that will be disqualification for Josh Bates, and indeed the blue light is on. And I suspect the clutch there has sent him into the tapes. So that will require James Sargent to return in, and I can smell burning clutch at the moment, so that's clearly the case. So the blue light is on, and Sargent will have to go out as his replacement. It's Freddie Lindgren in white off gate 2, it's James Sargent in blue off gate 3, and Hans Anderson in yellow and black off the outside. As I say, if Poole do get a 4-2 or a 5-1 in this one, which I'm sure they will fancy their chances of doing so, then Coventry will be looking at tactical ride with Chris Harris in Heat 7. So here we go with Heat number 6. Green light is on. This time they are away, and it's a good start by the Poole Pirates. Lindgren off gate 2, Anderson off gate 4. King gets squeezed out, goes wide off bend 2, and Lindgren leads from Anderson with King in third place, Sargent out the back, and King didn't make it there off the inside gate, and that was really all that was going to happen, because Lindgren flying off 2, Anderson flying off 4, and that was job done for the Pirates. King trying the outside run to try and gain some ground on Anderson, but Anderson spent 4 laps of efficient defending against Chris Harris in Heat 3 as Sargent goes down off the 4th bend. I don't think that Danny King will find any joy out of Hans Anderson here in this Heat number 6, and the Pirates' 12-point lead is about to be rebuilt with their 4th 5-1 of the meeting. It's still Lindgren out in front. Looks a completely different rider than the one who struggled so badly for much of last season. Anderson in second has gradually been reeled in over the race by Danny King, but he gave himself far too much to do with. Oh, Lindgren's packed up on the last bend. Lindgren has packed up. Anderson has won it. Second place is Danny King, and Lindgren will coast home in third because Sargent had fallen earlier in the race. Well, a little bit of good fortune for Coventry. Not that I don't think Poole particularly need fortune to go against them at this stage, but a 5-1 turns into a 4-2 as Sargent actually doesn't finish the race. Lindgren suffering mechanical trouble, turning a certain race victory into a third place. So Anderson takes the win over King. Lindgren was third. That's a 4-2, makes it Coventry 13, Poole 23. Not really sure what happened to Lindgren's bike there in Heat 7. There's been plenty of mechanical drama already this evening with Garrity and with Bates, and now with Lindgren. Heat number 7 sees Coventry deploying the tactical ride with Chris Harris going in black and white off gate 3. Christoph Kasperdak, who I believe also changed bikes incidentally after his first ride, he rides in red off the inside. Davey Watt in white off gate 2, and good to see Krzysztof Buszkowski back racing again after that spill in his first outing. He goes in yellow and black off the outside. Some of the best races actually in recent years around Coventry have been between Chris Harris and Krzysztof Buszkowski. I'm sure Coventry fans will hope that Harris makes the gate here and goes into bank 6 points. This is the one and only tactical ride. It didn't work at Poole on Wednesday. Kasperdak took it, but didn't get any joy from that race. So Bees urgently need just to keep themselves in play. If they got an 8-1 here, of course, then it would actually make the meeting for a time a good deal closer. I'm not saying it's going to make any great difference overall, because you just look at the overall strength of the Poole Pirates, but this is their chance to get a few points back here with the tactical ride, as long as Harris can beat one or both of these Poole riders. Kasperdak goes off the inside. It's Watt off gate 2, it's Harris off gate 3, and it's Buszkowski going off the outside gate. Here we go then with heat number 7. Key race for Coventry with the tactical ride, and away they go. And he has made a good start. That's us, Christoph Kasperlak. It's Coventry 1 and 2. It's Harris and Kasperlak as Buszkowski tries to turn back one out the back, and Coventry do have 1 and 2 on the tactical ride here in heat 7 as Kasperlak goes rather across bench 3 and 4. That might offer a chance for Buszkowski to come down the inside, but the Coventry number 1 still maintains that second place. The Coventry captain is checked out and clear. I don't think Kasperlak's got ultimate pace here in this race. Buszkowski is certainly going to give it a go to try and split the Coventry pairing, but it's Chris Harris way out in front. It's Christoph Kasperlak, who I mentioned changed bikes before this race. He's in second. Buszkowski is straining every sinew to try and pass Kasperlak for second. Davey Watts motor drift at the back. He's no threat, but certainly Buszkowski is a big threat. He goes fence scraping around the outside, once again covered off by Kasperlak as they start the last lap. Chris Harris way out in front and set for a big 6-pointer. Buszkowski giving his absolute all trying to pass Kasperlak, who hasn't got the pace he wants, but I think is defending fairly well so far. Harris comes around for the 6-pointer, and Kasperlak pegs a good inside line to get the second place, and the Bees do get an 8-1 out of heat 7. And suddenly, even though the Bees were utterly awful for the first 4 heats tonight, they're actually only 3 points down. They've still got a huge mountain to climb overall, but they've somehow managed to engineer a way back into the meeting at this stage with that 8-1, with the 5-1 in 5 and the stroke of fortune with Lindgren in heat 6. They've actually got something to build on after that awful start to the meeting. Harris wins heat 7, second Christoph Kasperlak, third Christoph Buszkowski, and it's now Coventry 21, Poole 24. So it's the Poole reserves going out here in heat 8 with Kyle Newman, the rider replacement, in white. Adam Ellis goes in yellow and black, and it's Jason Garrity in red, Josh Bates in blue for the Bees. So it has the look of a fast track race from the last 2 years with Garrity involved, and with Newman taking rider replacement for Brady Kurtz, who is absent tonight due to illness. 21-24 does look a heck of a lot better than 6-18, which it did after heat 4. I don't think Poole are going to be ultimately too concerned about the situation they find themselves in, but they just have to cover off any dramatic Coventry fight back here. But I think they'll still feel they've got plenty to have in hand. Although the one concern for Poole is the lack of form so far of Davey Watt. No score so far from 2 rides. Here we go with heat number 8 with the green light on, and away they go. And it's Josh Bates in fact trying to squeeze in between. Garrity missed it off the inside, and Bates has been squeezed out by Newman. He's now got to try and get round Ellis, and Bates has packed up. In fact, Bates has got more mechanical trouble, and Garrity on his own bike is simply not as quick as he was when he borrowed Bates' bike earlier in the meeting. So it's Newman from Ellis, it's Garrity in third, and Bates coasting onto the infield, and Garrity off the inside didn't make it at all, and he was out of play really by the time they got to bench 3 and 4. And as I say, he's not got the pace in that bike that he had when he managed to wind up whichever one of Bates' bikes that he rode earlier in the meeting to get a 5-1. He's trying the outside now, he's managing to gain some ground now. It's Newman from Ellis, Garrity in third with just over a lap to go. Can Garrity put some pressure here on Ellis and maybe at least salvage a second place here? Garrity is still flinging it into the bench, desperately trying to make up ground with a 3-0 pace about Adam Ellis in second place. So he was run a third place last time out, but this time he's going to hit straight back with a paid win, and the Pirates hit straight back themselves with a maximum from their reserves. Kyle Newman and Adam Ellis over Jason Garrity and a misfiring Josh Bates, and just when Coventry thought they might have a glimmer of hope with that 8-1 in heat 7, it has all gone against them once again, and you can see and you can hear that Garrity is totally unhappy with the bike he's riding there. The best ride he's had tonight was on whichever of Bates' bikes he rode, and whatever that bike that Bates is using now wasn't working either, and that is going wrong for the Coventry riders in that race. Kyle Newman then is still unbeaten. He's got 7 paid 9 from 3 rides. He wins heat 8 from Adam Ellis. Third place was Jason Garrity, and it's Coventry 22, Poole 29. Grading break has taken place. It's 29-22 in Poole's favour. Heat 9, Jason Garrity, James Sargent, Christoph Buszkowski and Kyle Newman is the lineup for this one. And the concern is over the pace in Garrity's machine. I think he's not making the lightning starts that we've seen him make in previous seasons. And okay, he did reel in Adam Ellis there in heat 8, but he wasn't able to land a challenging blow. and that is a concern for the Bees going forward, because obviously, especially when you're not racing against draft reserves every week anyway, the races are that much harder. But you wouldn't expect on previous form the likes of Ellis to be showing a clean pair of heels to Garrity on a regular basis, and that's what's happened so far tonight. So that is a worry. Sargent's off the inside here in blue. Of course, he's normally far more effective off than an outside gate, and I think this Bees team as a whole, most of the riders are more effective on the outside. We see Sargent do it from there. We've seen over the last year or so Danny King has done it more frequently from the outside than the inside. I think Bates also is more suited there. You're only looking at the class rider, the likes of a Kasperdak or a Harris, that can actually make something happen from the inside gate, and that again is a worry for the Bees, especially with the way that Poole have been gating consistently with everyone really apart from Davey Watt so far tonight. It's Sargent in blue off the inside, Bushkowski goes off 2, Garrity off 3, Newman off the outside, and away they go. And Garrity's made a half decent one that time. He's being sent out wide by Bushkowski. He'll fling it into the dirt, he'll go round the outside, stunning ride by Jason Garrity to race leading to men 3 over Christoph Bushkowski, with Newman in third on the question from Sargent. So they start the second lap, and Garrity has managed to conjure a start. The thing was there, that time Garrity put himself in play on the first lap. He wasn't quite with Bushkowski, but he was only just behind him, and that gave him, he's got the bravery and determination to make it around the outside, which he did, and Garrity out in front on his own bike, which hopefully will be a big stepping stone forward for the Coventry riders. Sargent's on the pace with Newman, but he can't quite get up with the Poole Reserve in third place, so it looks like being a shared heat with 1 lap to go in heat number 9 as Garrity race leads ahead of Bushkowski. The back straight for the final time. Newman in third. He's being reeled in by James Sargent, but I don't think that Sargent can make it from there. But that's a fine win again for Jason Garrity in heat 9 for the Bees. Garrity over Bushkowski, both for third, but Newman hangs on over James Sargent. That's a really good ride by Jason Garrity there. Bushkowski had made the start, but Garrity was out there with him, and as Bushkowski tried to push him wide, Garrity took that wide line right round the fence off turn 2, and he takes the victory in heat number 9. The race is shared. Garrity over Bushkowski, third place Karen Newman, and it's Coventry 25, Poole 32. Poole then remain at 7 points in front with 6 heats to go. They may feel that they perhaps should be a bit further in front than that, certainly on the basis of the domination early on. Coventry have at least avoided a total whitewash here, which was looking somewhat on the count after the first couple of races, but it's still very much advantage Pirates here, with Lindgren off the inside gate here in the white helmet cover, Danny King in red off gate 2, Adam Ellis takes the rider replacement in yellow and black off gate 3, and Chris Harris goes in blue for the Bees off the outside, who clocked the fastest time of the season, by the way, around Brandon in his second ride, that tactical ride that he won, and he did it by a whole second, 58.7. That's the quickest we've seen here for some time. I don't think we've had a time like that, certainly offhand, since early 2014 shambles at Brandon. 58.7 for Harris was a quick time. He holds the track record at 57.6, so only a second outside that, and that shows he's certainly got the speed in the bike. The Bees captain, who goes off the outside here in the blue helmet cover. It's the final rider replacement ride so far of the meeting for Brady Kurtz. It's so far picked up 2 race wins and a crash for Bushkowski. It's Adam Ellis who goes in yellow and black off gate 3. Lindgren off the inside, King gate 2, Ellis gate 3, and Harris off the outside, green light and away, and it's a great start by Danny King and by Chris Harris. The Bees have 1 and 2 here in heat number 10. Harris goes round the outside, it's King in second, Ellis comes charging in, Ellis trying to go round the outside here, Ellis goes down right in front of his teammate, and Coventry got 1 and 2 over Lindgren, but Ellis will stay down. The red lights come on as Lindgren goes charging inside Danny King, and the red lights are on with Coventry on a 5-1. They haven't completed 2 laps, so it will be rerun, and that will give Lindgren a second chance. A bit of frustration there. Bold bid by Ellis to get back past Danny King into the third bend. It didn't work, and he was lucky he didn't get collected, because it looked to me for a moment like he'd fallen right in front of Freddie Lindgren, but hopefully no severe damage for Adam Ellis, as he's just being attended to down there on the third bend. In fact, he's on his feet now, not with the bike, so he's okay. A very bold effort to go past Danny King, who made his best start of the meeting so far. So Ellis crashing out of heat number 10, and there'll be a restart with 3. Restart then of heat 10, and it's Freddie Lindgren going in white off the inside. Didn't make the gate first time there, got completely out-trapped by both King and Harris, and it was Ellis that was causing the problem on the third bend, and then it caused his own problem by falling right in front of Lindgren. But it's Lindgren off the inside, King off gate 2, Harris off the outside, 2 against 1, and Lindgren will have to go some to win this from here. He's going to have to make an absolutely terrific start, because he knows he's got to not only get the better of King in the battle off 1 and 2, but whilst he's doing that, of course, Harris is there off the outside with plenty of track space to work in, so it is difficult for Lindgren to win. He has to make an absolutely sensational start to clear King and get up to Harris to take Harris wide, and it's clear to see that Lindgren intends to start from as wide on gate 1 as he possibly can, probably to limit the space that he has to cover to try and win this race from the inside gate. Lindgren off the inside, King off gate 2, Harris off gate 4 for the rerun of heat number 10, green light, and away they go, and Lindgren lifts and he's clamped off by Danny King, and Harris goes round the outside. They've got the same situation as they got the back straight for the first time. Harris from King, is Lindgren in third, and the Bees have 1 and 2 in this heat number 10. Now can King hold Lindgren at bay as they move on to start the second lap? It's still Chris Harris from Danny King. It's Lindgren in third spot. King has gone for his more favoured outside line, and so far I think there's enough pace out there tonight for him to see off Freddie Lindgren from there. I'm sure that Lindgren will make it just by pegging the inside throughout the race, and this could be a defeat for Freddie Lindgren, of the 5-1 against Freddie Lindgren, which of course has been highly unusual around Coventry this season, or being unheard of around Coventry this season. How he went for Wolves earlier in the campaign. Chris Harris race leads from Danny King. It's Lindgren in third spot. Finally, Danny King making a sharp start from gate 2, which puts him right in play, right in the race, and about to beat the opposing guest number 1 rider. And again, give Coventry a little glimmer of hope as they go into the final 5 heats. Chris Harris wins heat 10, Danny King in second place, Freddie Lindgren in third, and the Bees are back to just 3 points down with 5 heats to go. There are still strong pool races to come, but there has been some fighting spirit over the last 5 or 6 heats for the Mill-based Bees to give themselves some hope, not just tonight, but for the weeks to come, when surely they'll have to have a new rider in the team as well. A 5-1 in heat 10 from Harris and King over Lindgren, and it's Coventry 30, Poole 33.
Chris Harris and Danny King. Well on, British fans. Let's get David to confirm the results for us.
So gap down to 3 points with 5 heats to go. Heat number 11, Christoph Kasperzak and Jason Garrity for the Bees, and it's Davey Watt and Hans Andersen for the Pirates. And somewhat remarkably, after the way the meeting started, Hans Andersen is now the only unbeaten pool rider at this stage with 6 points from 2 rides. That's somewhat balanced out by the fact that Davey Watt has failed to score so far from his first 2. Those are the two gaping holes. Well, there's another big gaping hole in the pool score chart by the fact that Davey Watt is positioned underneath Brady Kurtz, who's not here. So there is a gap in the score chart, but it's rather covered off by the fact that the reserves have scored 17, played 21 between them already, and they've still got heat 12 to come. So again, I don't think there's still going to be any great concerns for Poole. Only the fact that they were 6 points in front at Lakeside a couple of weeks ago and contrived to lose 50-40 there. Obviously a very different sort of track. This one is one that they're very comfortable on, but they'll just be a little bit concerned that they were in such a dominant position after heat 4, and it's just they've still left for the meeting to win here, and Coventry will feel well, if they could only have made a half sensible start tonight. And then you think about putting one more rider into that top 5 when you can sign someone, and it might not all quite be the doom and gloom that it looked early on, but it's still, as we've mentioned, a big mountain to climb at this stage of the campaign. Davey Watt in white off the inside, Christoph Kasperzak in red off gate 2, Hans Andersen in yellow and black off gate 3, and Jason Garrity goes in blue off the outside. Here we go then with heat number 11, 30-33, the second reserves race is to come, so Poole will be strong favourites there. What can they get from heat number 11? Away they go, and Andersen out, Kasperzak contested that. That's a great first bend by Christoph Kasperzak. Sends Andersen really brilliant first bend by Kasperzak. Sends Andersen to the fence. It's Watt in second with Garrity going around the outside. Garrity 2 wide on bends 3 and 4. Watt will maintain second. Andersen will charge down the inside and regain third from Garrity. That was a sensational first bend by Christoph Kasperzak. It's just a shame for Coventry that Garrity made a mistake in trying to go. Now he's trying to go inside Andersen on bend 3 and 4. Andersen Anderson in trouble on bend 4. Anderson goes too wide, great number goes down, and the gap here is going to go down to 1 point. It's Kasperzak from Watt who looks quicker this time. It's Garrity in third, it's Anderson at the back, and suddenly out of nowhere we've got a dramatic meeting on our hands here as Kasperzak race leads from Watt. It's Garrity in third. Fair play to Garrity. Pressured Anderson into the mistake, and he got the mistake, and he got back from in third place. It's Kasperzak from Watt. It's Garrity in third. Anderson at the back. That was a sensational first bend by Christoph Kasperzak, and he wins heat number 11. Kasperzak over Watt. Garrity in third place, and the gap is down to a single point with 4 heats to go. Super first bend by Kasperzak. Sent Anderson out really, really wide. Anderson was out of position really. He regained third place from Garrity, and then under pressure from Garrity, he got it wrong on turns 3 and 4. Garrity back into third place, and the Bees get back to within 1 point. Kasperzak wins heat 11 from Watt. It's Garrity in third place, doing donuts up on the third bend. I think he enjoyed that third place there. It's Coventry 34, Poole 35. Well, I don't think anyone quite believed we'd get to this stage with 11 heats gone, the gap down to a solitary point. That's what we have it, but Poole are still so strong in this race with Ellis and Newman, and you have to say the strong possibility is that they will still go into heat 13 with a more comfortable advantage than they currently have now, which is very uncomfortable. 1 point, 35-34. There has been some spirit about Coventry since those first disastrous few races. If they hadn't got it so badly wrong in those races, then who knows where they would be tonight. Early on, the likes of Anderson, Lindgren were allowed to dominate. There have been a couple of breaks Coventry's way. You think back to Bushkowski crashing, you think back to Ellis falling off, Lindgren's mechanical failure. Poole have chucked some points away here tonight, and they'd be a lot more comfortable if they were. Coventry need Bates to have got his bike set up. He's only scored 1 point so far. Bates going off the inside gate. Newman going off gate 2. Sargent going off gate 3. Ellis going off the outside. Here we go then with heat number 12. Can the Poole reserves put their inside? That's a definite jump there by Sargent off gate 3. Definite jump by Sargent off gate number 3. The referee was never going to fall for that one. And the red lights come straight on from Mick Postlewhite, and it's going to be all 4 back for the restart with the 2-minute warning straight back on. So back round for the rerun of heat 12. It's taken a while tonight, but there's a bit of atmosphere around the stadium now. Such a dismal, depressing start to the contest as far as Coventry were concerned, and it all looked like it was going to be so easy. There clearly have been some words said in the Coventry pits during the evening, and they have on occasions pressured Poole into a few mistakes here tonight. Poole will be a little bit more encouraged by the second place that Davey Watt ran there in heat 11, in that he was certainly in the race with Kasperzak throughout it. Never looked like passing him, but was there on the pace. So they've got Watt to come in heat 14. Watt and Bushkowski does look like a strong pairing in heat 14 against Danny King and one of the Coventry reserves. So there are still races to come here tonight where Poole are strong, and this is certainly one of them here in heat number 12, the rerun. Bates off the inside gate. So Newman goes off gate 2. It's Sargent gate 3. Ellis off the outside. Sargent jumps again there, and this time the referee lets it go. Unbelievable. Neil Middleton will be spewing. It's Sargent with the advantage, and Bates trying to go inside Ellis here. Coventry got a 4-2 at this stage as Bates goes on the inside and tries to move Newman as well. It's Sargent with the advantage. Bates has gone third here. Sargent with an amazing jump start that Mick Postlewhite didn't notice, and Bates has managed to move inside on Ellis. So Coventry, if it stays as it is, are going to go in front here with 3 heats to go. Ellis trying to go back on Bates as they come through and start the third lap. It's still Sargent from Newman. Newman trying to wind himself up now to regain ground on James Sargent. Bates battling hard in third. It's still James Sargent out in front of the mid with Newman trying to peg away through on the inside. Bates in third place. Ellis at the back, and there's 1 lap to go. It's still James Sargent from Karen Newman with Josh Bates in third. Now back on the pressure of Ellis. The Poole reserve still throwing it all in here as Bates goes wide. inside and gets back around Ellis, and still Sargent holds Newman at bay. Sargent from Newman, Bates in third, and the back is Ellis. Sargent will come off the bend and gets the finishing line in front. Sargent wins it. Second place Newman, third Bates. Coventry in front with one race to go. Sargent got an outrageous flyer there after he was pulled back the first time. The referee didn't pull it back second time, and Sargent took full advantage. Sargent wins heat number 12 from Newman. Meanwhile, Bates passed Ellis for third, and incredibly, with 3 heats to go, Coventry, who were down, out and abysmal in the first 4 heats tonight, are actually 1 point in front with 3 heats to go. It's Coventry 38, Poole 37.
Here we go then, heat number 12, which is a winning there for James Sargent.
Well, heat number 13, Christoph Kasperzak in red, Chris Harris in blue, Freddie Lindgren in white, Hans Andersen in yellow and black. Poole still looks strong in heat 14 with Watt and Bushkowski up against King, and you have to imagine Sargent for Coventry. But if these Coventry big two of Kasperzak and Harris can outscore their opponents in heats 13 and 15, then heat 14 won't matter. No pressure then, but certainly Harris has had lots of pace tonight. He lost out to Andersen in his first ride. He was chasing him hard throughout. Kasperzak, after his last place in his first ride with clearly mechanical trouble, has been unbeaten since then. Having said that, I don't think he's looked massively fast. He's done it with track craft, holding people at bay. But if he can get himself out in front, you know that Harris can team ride. And we've seen Andersen pressured into a mistake by Jason Garrity in heat 11. So what can Andersen do off the inside? Andersen yellow and black off the inside, Harris in blue off gate 2, Lindgren in white off gate 3, and Kasperzak in red off the outside. Now, from absolutely nowhere, we've suddenly got a thrilling contest tonight, and that looks so totally unlikely after the first 4 heats this evening. And suddenly we have a real tense encounter between the Bees and the Pirates. Here we go with heat number 13. Andersen off the inside, Harris gate 2, Lindgren gate 3, Kasperzak off the outside, away they go. And it's Harris making the game, but Kasperzak gets squeezed out by Freddie Lindgren. He tries to go in between the Poole riders. Lindgren goes for the big burst around the outside here. Plenty of pace about Lindgren to get round Chris Harris. He leads. Andersen goes wide off bend 4 again. Can Kasperzak get through on the inside? Crucial he does. Kasperzak trying to pass Andersen because Lindgren's got the lead in. Pulled back in front unless Harris can pass Lindgren. It's Lindgren who leads from Harris, and Kasperzak chasing Andersen. Now can either or both of the Bees make passing moves here? It's still Lindgren from Harris. Kasperzak going inside Andersen for third place. He's not quite got past him. Still the Bees battling hard with Lindgren from Harris. Lindgren wide off the bend. It's 2 races in 1. As this time Kasperzak tries to bore a hole in Andersen on turn 3 and 4, and again Andersen defends. It's Lindgren from Harris with Kasperzak now going for the outside run as they start the last lap. It's still Lindgren from Harris. Lindgren leads. Harris second. Andersen third with a bite between first and second, a bite between third and fourth. It's the last bend this time. It's still Lindgren from Harris. Harris tries to turn back off bend 4. Lindgren holds it. Lindgren will win it from Harris. Crucial third for Andersen over Kasperzak, and Poole go back in front by a point with 2 heats to go. And pressure big time now on Danny King in heat 14 for Coventry. Freddie Lindgren, the Poole guest, comes up with a big ride in heat 13 because Harris had the early advantage and Lindgren got round him into bend 3. He led, and all that Kasperzak could throw at Andersen throughout the entire race, it wasn't quite enough, and Poole edge in front by a single point with 2 heats to go. Win for Lindgren, second for Harris, third for Andersen, and it's now Coventry 40, Poole 41. Slightly surprised that it's Josh Bates here in heat 14 for Coventry, taking the rider replacement. Thought it might well have been Sargent who's the quicker and of course had that super win in heat number 12, but it is Bates who goes in blue here off gate 2, but the pressure still remains all on Danny King off the outside gate in red. It is the place that Coventry would want him. He has done it before in the past for the Bees. In heat 14 off the outside, he's got Davey Watt next to him in gate 3. He's got Christoph Bushkowski on the inside gate in yellow and black, and Bushkowski's had a bit of everything so far tonight with a winner, second, a third and a crash. So he's off the inside. Poole back in front, and whilst the Bees would have been delighted with a 4-2 in heat 12, the Pirates delighted with a 4-2 in heat 13 from Lindgren and Andersen over Coventry's strongest pairing, and therefore they are now in position that if they can get a 5-1 here in heat 14, they will win the meeting. And what a meeting has turned out to be after the dismal opening as far as Coventry were concerned. So Krzysztof Buczkowski in yellow and black off the inside, Josh Bates in blue off gate 2, Davey Watt in white off gate 3, and the pressure all on Danny King off the outside in red for the Bees. Away they go, and Josh Bates makes the start. Danny King is in second place. Bates locks it on turn 2. He completely comes off Krzysztof Buczkowski. It's Coventry 1 and 2 with King and Bates, and Watt is in big trouble, and Buczkowski in third. And where has this come from? Danny King and Josh Bates with the advantage. Buczkowski trying to fling it around the outside. King has got to go here. Bates needs to try and hold off Buczkowski for as long as he can. At the moment, Buczkowski not making a passing move. Watt is struggling, and they move on to the third lap with Danny King out in front of Josh Bates. Third place is Krzysztof Buczkowski, who still can't land the turning ball on Josh Bates, and King has got to get his head down and go, because if Bates is passed by Buczkowski, then Buczkowski could come in on King. King really wide off bench 3 and 4. He was too wide there, but Bates is there on the inside. Buczkowski is now trying to fling it around the outside, trying to get to Josh Bates. Can he make it around the outside? Watt's come to a halt. The Bees still have 1 and 2. Buczkowski round turn 3 and 4. It's Danny King with a win, no doubt about that. Josh Bates in second from massive Coventry 5-1 in heat 14. A huge Coventry 5-1 from Danny King and Josh Bates over Krzysztof Buczkowski and Davey Watt. Someone said before that race, I'm surprised the Sergeant's not in there. They threw Josh Bates in, and he came up with a rip-roaring start, and he's beaten Buczkowski, he's beaten Davey Watt, and Coventry are 3 points in front of Poole with 1 heat to go after being 12 down after 4. Danny King and Josh Bates with an amazing 5-1 in heat 14 over Buczkowski and Watt. There's 1 to go here. It's Coventry 45, Poole 42. Very eye-opening selection for the Bees in heat 15, going with Jason Garrity in red off the inside gate. Chris Harris goes in blue, and it's Hans Andersen and Freddie Lindgren going for the Pirates off gates 2 and 4. The Bees 3 points in front, so they only need a second place in this one. They need to avoid conceding a 5-1. Don't forget when Poole visited in the Elite Shield earlier in the season, the Bees thought they'd just about done the job in the second leg, only for Poole to snatch it in heat 15. Poole will get a point here tonight unless the Bees get a 5-1, but that's of no real consequence as far as Coventry are concerned. Their sole focus here is on avoiding conceding a 5-1. Garrity off the inside gate, Anderson off gate 2, Harris off gate 3, and Lindgren goes off the outside. And of course Lindgren got the better of Harris in heat 13 when he got round the outside into bend 3, and Lindgren is again sat on the outside of Harris here in this heat 15. Anderson there on the inside, or off gate 2. So the battle between him and Garrity into the first bend could also be pretty important. But at 45-42, that's a situation that Coventry could not have dreamt of. A meeting that's had so many twists and turns from the awful Coventry start, the comeback, and then it's been one way and then the other in the final few heats. A last heat decider between Coventry and Poole, with the Bees in front by 3 points. Garrity off the inside, Anderson off gate 2, Harris off gate 3, and Lindgren guesting for hold-up in yellow and black off the outside. Poole already beaten this season at Lakeside a couple of weeks ago when they threw away a lead. They're throwing away an even bigger lead here tonight, but can they still snatch it with a 5-1 in the last race? Garrity, Anderson, Harris and Lindgren, they have really taken their time to go into line here for this heat number 15, but the riders are now into line. Here we go with 15, green light, and away they go. It's a flying start by Anderson, but Lindgren's not made a great one. Anderson's got the advantage. Lindgren's trying to turn back, but Harris is turning back too. Harris has the second. Anderson made the start. Harris in second place. Lindgren in third. Lindgren goes inside. Harris, who needs to turn back very quickly indeed into the second lap. And can he get back inside? Yes, he can. Harris repasses Lindgren. Garrity goes charging through as well. Lindgren trying hard to pass Harris. It's Anderson out in front. He's got the race won, no question about that. Harris has second here from Lindgren, with Garrity at the back as they come through to start the lap. And Harris goes too wide off bend 4, and Lindgren goes through. It's a mistake by Chris Harris, and Lindgren has past Harrison, now trying to regain it on the back straight for the third time. Anderson from Lingman, Harrison third. It's Garrity at the back, and Poole are going to snatch it here unless Harris can regain it one more time over Freddie Lingman as they start the last lap. Anderson out in front, Lingman second. Harris went too wide on bend 4, and now he's trying to get back round the outside on the final bend. Can he get round Lingman here? He's got to keep it on the outside. Now he tries to turn back. Lingman goes up wide. Anderson wins. Harris finishing fast down the inside. Chris Harris gets it. He gets it back off Freddie Lingman, and Coventry win by a single point. And Chris Harris repairs it there in heat 15. Freddie Lingman had come through into second place, and Harris came back on him and got it on the line. And Chris Harris up against Freddie Lingman. They were going at it, hammer and tongs there on the final turn. Anderson with a flying start, and Chris Harris, he was second, he was third, he was battling hard, and he came through on the inside. And Chris Harris on the line passes Freddie Lingman, who I think has got more mechanical trouble there on the final bend. And the Bees have suddenly come through for an unbelievable victory over the Poole Pirates in a meeting that had absolutely everything. Anderson wins heat 15, second place Chris Bomber Harris, third Freddie Lingman, and the final score of Coventry 47, Poole 46.
The Bees 47 and the Pirates 46.
Skipper, you happy?
No, I dropped a few points.
What happened in that 8:15? Goodness me, you're giving everybody a heart attack.
Yeah, well, we went off the Tates and I got to the first corner. The chain adjuster that keeps the chain in line snapped, so the back chain went really loose. So I could feel it for 4 laps. I was just waiting for it to snap or jump off or something and end the race really. But I managed to nurse it around, but keep good speed. And I was just waiting for Freddie to pass us at one stage because I couldn't do it any more than what I was doing. So luckily I had a bit of luck on our side there where he had a punch, I think, on the last corner. I could just sort of see the back end go on him and sort of slow him down. So we had a bit of luck tonight, which we need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about it on Wednesday down at Poole, and you said you were going to have a get together with the boys. Obviously, it's worked.
Yeah, well, I won't say it worked at the start of the meeting. You know, they was quick out the starts again all night really, but the first track grade, I think it was, I got all the boys together myself and just had a word, and you know, just it wasn't good enough for many of us. You know, we had to get something out of the starts and work, so we knew we'd be quick on track. It's just getting in front, and the way the track was, it was a bit hard to pass a few times. So just with the amount of races they got in their side, you know, they can ride the line well. So yeah, we managed to pull out the bag luckily, but it was a tough one, but good that we won at home.
The fact that we were 12 points down as well, goodness me, I mean, that makes it even more special.
Yeah, that's just speed, isn't it? It's how quick it can turn, and me and Christoph got that 8-1 we needed, and I think that sort of turned it around in our favour.
Yeah, but you, as I say, you must be proud of everybody. Josh Bates coming up like that with heat 14 and Sarge earlier on.
Yeah, everyone was again, like I said earlier, we're all up and down. We're not consistent enough, you know, and that's where we're lacking and where we're losing it. You know, we go out and win a race, and then the next rider we go out and lose one. You know, that is speedway, but you know, we've got to get that consistency and getting our double figures every meeting and just trying to build that foundation, and you'll start winning races then.
Absolutely, the crowd was superb tonight.
As always, you know, they're our extra man or woman and child. You know, we need them behind us. You know, I know it's frustrating, and you know, the worst, they want to get on our backs if you like and cuss and swear. But the trouble is, as riders, you want to be as positive. You know, we don't want to come out there and go last because we don't get paid as well. So you know what I mean? It's the boys here are passionate. They want to win, and when we lose, like Wednesday, we was all embarrassed, and I can't really swear on it, but we was really not happy. So as a team, we are winners, and we want to be out there winning, especially for this club.
Chris Harris, thanks for talking.
No problem.
Johnny King, you needed that tonight.
Yeah, what a way to do it. What a way to do it. I mean, God, I think Mick must have been in his car after 8-4. You know, everyone was up for it, and when it started, I just didn't know what to think. But I mean, we didn't give up, and we fought and fought and fought, and yeah, what a result. I mean, the fans certainly got their money tonight, that's for sure.
I mean, crucial wins at crucial times. I mean, talking about stepping up to it, it's just incredible. Yourself,
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Bates and James Sargent as well, you know.
Everyone just stepped up. I mean, everyone's been so down. We've been so inconsistent. I mean, as a whole team, I mean, my personal form's been up and down, but I mean, as a whole team, to be so inconsistent all year, it's been hard. It's been really tough, and it plays on your mind, you know. And God, I don't know what to say really. We just needed that, and now we can push on. Hopefully, I mean, we really need to now.
The problem is though, you keep digging a hole, don't you? And it gets deeper and deeper, and you just don't know how to get out of it.
That's right.
Problem.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean,
you're not stupid.
No, you start looking at things that probably aren't issues.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at your bikes, your engines, your clutches. Is it them? Is it me? Is it a bit of both? And you confuse yourself. You're right. You get so far into a hole and you just don't know where to go. And sometimes you just need to go back to the beginning and try and start again. And I don't know. I mean, I a couple of weeks ago I rode a setup here and I scored 13 points. The next week I run exactly the same bike, exactly the same setup and scored 7 points. It's just the way it is. It's Speedway. But we need to push on from tonight now. Everyone's got to be on a high. I mean, Casper's he didn't have the best of nights for him, and he knows that. But we still won. So when he gets going and everyone else fires like this, we can beat anyone.
It's a nice night for the mechanics tonight because they've been under so much pressure, haven't they? Because it's all their fault anyway.
Yeah, it's always their fault. I mean, we got a great bunch of lads here. It's the same as last year. The mechanics are just as important as the riders, and everyone pitches in, everyone helps out, and they felt the stress as well, because they almost feel like it's their fault as well, and it's not. It's just the way it goes. It's Speedway. So I mean, for everyone, the fans, the management, the riders, the mechanics, it was needed.
Absolutely. Thanks for talking.
All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks.
Gary, you don't get much better than that.
No, you don't. If our speeder meetings were like that, we'd have stadiums full up and down the country. There is no doubt about that.
With 12 points down, to come back from that, I mean, to be honest, nobody expected that.
No, I don't think Poole will ever have that. Certainly not this season. To be 12 up and to only come back up. I don't look at it, but I gather that there's been quite a bit of stuff on the internet about our team, people mourning and saying we need people dropping. Well, if any of them were here tonight, which I doubt, because they're all keyboard warriors, will be sat at home. And to say that this team doesn't have any fight in them, I don't know what they're talking about, because we had to go deep in the well today. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, your motivation skills, Gary, much of plenty tonight, weren't they? Obviously.
Well, I'd like to take credit for it all, but obviously I can't. No, I just thought that the whole team were fantastic at various stages, James in heat 12, Josh Bates in heat 14, just phenomenal. I got him and Sarge together and I said, I need somebody to go and win this race for me, and Josh went, I'll win it. And for a young kid like that to take that responsibility is just amazing. And that was, I know all the boys rode really well, but that was the race that won us it. Heat 14 we certainly weren't expected. I know Poole wouldn't have been expecting us to get a 5-1 in that race. And I just was just a bit worried about Bomber in heat 15 because I don't know why he's messing about. Passed Freddie and then he let him pass again, both on the inside, and I'm shouting on the inside's working, and he just stayed out wide. And, oh God! If I'd have had a pacemaker, I think I would have needed to get it checked. But I'm really proud of the boys. Every single one of them tonight. It was. It's probably my best win since I've been team manager here. We've had other wins, a lot of away wins and stuff like that. But to do what we did tonight to a team like Poole was nothing short of sensational. And a team like Poole, who probably came here stronger. Yep. With Freddie Lindgren in and no Brady Kurtz, then there would have been at full strength. So, even to do that. And, it was nice to see Freddie, who really scored heavily for us in the semi-final last year against Poole, to replay the compliment for Poole tonight against us. Marvellous.
But moreover, tonight, to see all the crowd standing up like they were at the end, I mean, they're going to come back now, aren't they?
Well, every single person in this stadium will be back next week. There is no doubt about that. We're next home meeting. Yeah. We just need to get all the next door neighbours and their mates and their uncles and aunties and everybody here as well, because the boys feed off it. The more people are in the stadium, the more they're shouting and screaming. The boys, especially the younger boys, they definitely feed off the crowd. And if we can have that sort of atmosphere week in, week out, we'll be all right. I've been saying, everyone's been panicking, and I've been saying, we aren't far away. It's just seems like the whole world's against us at the moment. Every time our riders make the gate, especially Sarge, the red light goes on, it's happening again. You laugh, but it's happening again. And it's getting diabolical. And I'm going to have to try and put in a protest or get something done, because it's.
They're looking out for him, aren't they?
100% they are looking out for him, 100%, and you know, it's not right. You know, he's a young lad, a young English lad trying to make his way in the sport, and they've just all got it in for him.
Thanks for talking to us, Gary.
My pleasure. Cheers.
So the final score of Coventry 47, Poole 46. For the Bees, Christoph Kasperdak scored 5+1, Jason Garrity 9, Danny King 8+2, Chris Harris 15, James Sargent 6+1, and Josh Bates 4+1. For the Pirates, Freddie Lindgren 8+1, Davey Watt 2, Christoph Buzkowski 7, Hans Anderson 10, Adam Ellis 9+1, and Kyle Newman 10+3. One of the most extraordinary Elite League matches you'll ever see, with the Bees fighting back from nowhere after 4 heats and snatching the victory on the line in Heat 15. The final score tonight, Coventry 47, Poole 46. That's all for us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Good night.